Stay the fuck away from it. I just let me know. CNN.com, the whole Afghanistan U.S. conflict stuff. Do y'all want me to give my opinion, or do y'all want me to just shut the fuck up and let this shit just rock? Just tell me.
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Amber Rose too. Okay. Shut up. Now, of course, I'll say. Hey, I'll say this, man. Truth be told, this is something where it's unfortunate that everything in life comes down to parties, and it comes down to not necessarily right or wrong. It comes down to who you're rooting for at the time. So you have, like, truth be told, I was critical of Biden for a little bit, but how Biden eventually handled it, I think that the Republicans would handle it kind of like that. However, the Republicans, instead of saying, yo, okay, we agree with that, they can't even say that. They have to just be like, oh, fuck Biden. Like, the biggest problem we have in America is the fact that we only have two fucking parties. And I've always said this, like, me, if you ask me, I'm not a Republican, nor am I a Democrat. You know why? Because really, I think my thinking aligns with either one, depends on certain shit. When it comes to money and it comes to taxes, I'm probably thinking like I'm a Republican. I don't want to give the government, like, the amount they take from me, it feels like criminal. It feels like they just robbed me. You feel me? But then when it comes to social issues, I don't want to be thinking like the fucking Republicans. You know what I mean? I heard Trump is like, yo, fucking close the borders. I'm an immigrant. I got here by the borders kind of being a little bit open and lax. So it's like you're kind of on both sides. Anyone who thinks that they have to agree with one side, either Democrat or Republican, completely, you're a fucking idiot. There should be no fucking person in the world who agrees with everyone, right? Now, when it comes to voting, I get it. There's not a million parties that could represent uniquely what everybody thinks. So you're kind of choosing what means the most to you in the next 4 years. Like, for example, if it's the economy, you're going to pick whoever who fucks with you for the economy. That's why I just hate people who are just blanket Democrat. You get me? Like, if at this moment in time, it's these social issues, maybe it's about police brutality, whatever, clearly the Republican seems out of touch, you're going to vote for Democrat. It should be like that. It shouldn't be where you have to fucking register as a Republican and now you got to ride. It's like a gang. You got to ride for them when they saying shit that you don't even care about or agree with. You get me? You might agree with them on like 5% of the shit, and then they say some other bullshit. You're like, what the fuck are y'all niggas on? So that's how I look at it, right? Just truthfully. It's hard to say I'm a Republican, because truth be told, I was listening to Biden while he was campaigning against Trump, and sometimes I was like, okay, you got a point. This I was like, this nigga is literally like a parrot. He's like a puppet, and he's a bozo. You feel me? I can't fuck with him. And then I would listen to Trump, and I'm like, oh, okay, Trump's spitting some shit. And then he would start talking. Anytime they would talk about black people and shit like that, he would just completely miss me. And I'm like, all right, bet. He don't fuck with me as what I would care about socially. I can't fuck with him. So that's what I say about both parties. If you tell me you're a Democrat, I immediately think you're an idiot. If you tell me you're a Republican, I immediately think you're an idiot. The reason why is neither party will care about every single thing you care about. If you're a Republican, you might be cool with abortion. A lot of Republicans ain't. If you're a Republican, you might think that guns are out of control and you don't want a bunch of guns every single place like a lot of these Republicans do. But that seems to be the party cause. If you're a Democrat, shit, I agree with a lot of shit socially with Democrats, but now I'm seeing how the world's getting crazy. I'm like, man, I live in Jersey. I'm like, man, I need some guns. Fuck that. That's not how the Democrats really put their shit. So, as I said, you have to pick and choose. And, every issue won't be your issue. I will say this when it comes to this Afghanistan stuff. Number one, we should have never been in Afghanistan for that long, right? And right now we're playing the blame game. This is why I just hate politics, because the Republicans are mad at Biden for getting out of there, but they were applauding Trump for announcing that we're going to get out of there. It's like, what? Then they're like, no, we're not mad that he's getting out of there. We're mad about the methods. Listen, man, there's so nuance to this shit. And I'm not no political expert, but you get to realize that, yo, this is all one big game. Really just all one big game. Also, like, yo, I'm thinking about this shit on a realistic level. And I don't know too much about international affairs, but let me just break something down. And this is just what I was thinking, because I had to look up numbers. Remember, I'm a numbers guy too. I graduated with a biomathematics degree from Rutgers University. And I said, what the fuck? So you're telling me that we've been, and again, I blame us already. So don't think I would never blame the actual host country. We went up in there and we're trying to, that's another thing I don't like about America. Let me not say America. I don't like about some parts of America. It's not everybody. Some people, we like to mind our own fucking business. We like to focus on what we got going on. But there's some people who really think that we're so elite and so good, we need to force our beliefs and our way of thinking and our lifestyle on everybody else. Sorry, we're going through the Me Too movement and the feminist movement, but not everybody's with that shit. You should chill. We're going through the let Lil Nas X be the best artist ever. Not everybody's cool with that shit. We should leave people alone. Don't force your shit on people. You get me? I was watching this video from even my home country, and in Jamaica right now, they're just not ready at that point. By the way, they've made big strides in terms of accepting homosexuality, but their country, or Jamaica is a country. I'm from there. Is rooted in what it's rooted in Christianity, and for whatever reason, I get it. I know murder and all that stuff happens too, which is breaking all type of commandments. But for whatever reason, it's very demonized that people could be homosexual in that community. There's laws on the books against it. Again, not saying it's right. You're not gonna hear me sit up here and be like, oh my. But what I'm saying is that allow people to grow and mature on their own. Allow their own culture to make their own rules. Allow them to figure out that, that's whack. There was a time in Jamaica when gays used to be killed. Like, it would be like almost a hunting match. It's went far, and by the way, that's not cool, that's not nothing. I'm just saying, there is slight progress, right? Where it's now understood that these people are accepted, and by the way, there's new laws that are going on the books to help give these people their rights. But here's the thing that the U.S. government can't do. Don't just think you're gonna kick down the door of another country and tell them, hey, in the fucking advancement or evolution of your own culture, which, by the way, how long did it take America to fucking realize black people ain't slaves? It took fucking decades. But you want to show up to another country and tell them, no, you should treat black people like this. You should treat women like this now. It's not gonna work. Like, for whatever reason, Afghanistan and that type of part of the world, they want to rule their country based on religion. They want to rule it based on Islam or certain facets of Islam. Let them rock. Hey, we get it. There's certain things, human rights, right? If they're over there just blindly shooting women, we definitely have to fucking intervene. But because they have a particular way of lifestyle that we might not be cool with, leave niggas the fuck alone. You got to just chill out. Leave them alone. Again, care about things that are clear human violations. They're not feeding women. They're just killing them, whatever. We need to invade. Facts. I'm with it. But if, for whatever reason, their whole country is cool with, hey, they're going to have these non-feminist oriented rules where women do this and men do this, and their society's been existing for thousands of years. Let them motherfuckers live. You know what I mean? Again, keep an eye on it, that they're not doing too much crazy stuff. That could be human rights violation. But truth be told, for those countries, it works. Some of them, they're like, oh, we just want the men to work. They could be the breadwinner. I'm not saying I agree with it. That's their culture. Okay? Some of them, they want their women to focus on the home and the kids. That's their culture. You can't kick down the door and try to change everybody, right? So, let me get back to what's going on in Afghanistan. We should, after we got rid of the fucking Taliban, not Taliban, with Al-Qaeda, who we basically blamed for 9/11, Taliban, they're pretty much on that religious stuff very heavy, right? We basically looked at Afghanistan like, y'all should just start voting like us. They don't want to vote like us. They don't want to give, like, truth be told, and this is where I'm coming, again, I'm much as an amateur as anybody else. But just think about it. And this is what I'm saying, thinking about the optics. We think we're saviors to everybody. But if we're really saviors, how could you save people who don't seem that much, and I'm not saying everybody, who seem that much opposed? Allegedly, we trained 300,000 fucking people who were in the security defense forces of Afghanistan. And allegedly, there's around 75,000, and we've been training for 20 fucking years. And allegedly, there's 75,000 Taliban forces. And it took them literally 3 fucking days. Shorter than the time it would take your 3 fucking days. Shorter than the time it would take your girl to get off her period to take the whole fucking country over. So 75,000 people, the moment we dipped, could take over a country 3 fucking days. And they had to fight 300,000. Actually wasn't no fight. Most of the soldiers said, we ain't gonna fight them. Peace. We're leaving. Matter of fact, we're gonna leave our guns, the bullets over there, and here's the tanks. Everything we gave the security defense team, they gave to the Taliban. There is no win in this. That's the only thing I agree with Biden in. There ain't no win. Whether we get out now, get out 59 years from now. Them niggas don't want to fight. If I train 300 niggas to beat up 75, and I train them for 20 years, and 75 niggas pull up the day I dip to go on vacation, and they beat the shit out of 300, or just conquer them in 3 days, God damn it. It don't matter if I train y'all for 40 years, 60 years, or whatever the case is, okay? What I think, if the U.S. is really caring about that, we should try to make options for people who don't want to live in that environment anymore. If you have gotten used to American help, and this is where America fucked up. We went in there and started imposing our lifestyle on it, and that's a big cost. At anytime there's a coup, which this is what this is, the Taliban took control. The people who supported the past government a lot of times get killed. And we could say this is inhumane, but in the history of time, anytime you've seen where one kingdom went to conquer another kingdom and they conquered them, they don't look at the people who were the biggest supporters of the previous kingdom and say, chill, y'all can chill out. They kill them first. You know why? Those are the people who were the most opposed and who would probably start an uprising against what you just already did, right? So if the U.S. government really cared, get the people out or try to figure out some fucking way, do this way before y'all leave to get those motherfuckers out, right? And also realize once you dip, you say a good prayer for the people, the 300,000 you leave there, and say, hopefully y'all can fight. Y'all fight. If anything, y'all can hit us, you know what I mean? Call us on the line. We'll be there in a week. But other than that, we can't be here forever, motherfucker. The hell? That's it. So I don't support the U.S. abandoning some of our allies. I watched the video where the plane was taken off from Afghanistan airport. And I saw people holding on to the fucking plane. And I said, what the fuck is going on? And I had to really look at it. Those are the allies. Help them. And we just dipped. Peace. Now, again, there's no right time to leave. But the people who helped you, help them. The people you help them. Or people who helped you, help them. Everybody else and the country itself, you can't force democracy onto them. You cannot force your way of life, your standards. You can't force them to make women vote, to make women the same way it's seen in America. They don't care. And also, if we're going to walk around this whole fucking world and we're going to be very holistic, we're moral polices. Hey, we don't want you to, if you're not going to have women having the same rights, we're going to go to war with you. Let's think about it. You think Afghanistan the only place that treat women fucked up? Look all over Africa. Look all over the fucking place. You know why? We don't go in all those other places and take up occupation. We ain't got nothing to gain. That's why we fucked up from the get-go. Now it's time to right your wrongs by doing right with the people that helped you. But just remember, you can't be there forever. And it's no better time to get out. There's no best time to get out, but it is time to get out. I'll get off of this, and I hear people say this for oil. It's right. But this is why the truth is so. The truth is pretty much nonpartisan or bipartisan, whatever you want to call it. The truth, if you talk about this and you're a Democrat, you're gonna blame this all on Trump. If Trump didn't make this fucked up deal, we wouldn't be in this situation. Blah. You can't praise Biden for getting out and having the balls to get out, and not praise Trump for making a fucking deal to basically set a deadline to get the fuck out. It's the same thing, but these people are beefing so much that even anything that comes out, you see, by the way, another thing, if you only watch CNN, you're an idiot. I watch CNN and Fox News. They both tell lies. They both tell lies. You have to listen to both. You ever see two line ass motherfuckers? You got to listen to both of them. And the only things that matches on both of their story, that's probably the truth. That's the facts. So I watched this shit and like, you know what? I'm not the biggest Biden fan, but I can't really hate Biden for this. You feel me? It is what it is. And the people of Afghanistan, I have severe and sincere condolences because a lot of their way of life will be affected. However, our way of life and our ideals and our culture, if you want to call it American culture, we cannot force on anywhere else in the world. You gotta let people be them. Let their societies evolve. Let them make mistakes. And that's the end of my rant on that. Okay.